Hi everybody, Ron Placone here. You're watching another summary from the Indie Bohemians morning show. One of the issues we talked about a good deal was the obvious still Ferguson, as violence continues to escalate and the protests are not. She's here for humor relief, by the way, because she won't leave me alone, and now sometimes she does not realize she's not a kitten anymore. There she goes. But even she's like, I don't want to co-host this one. Because what's going on out there is very, very frustrating. And this morning on the show when we talked about it, I was frustrated. I was angry at what's been going on. Of course, the violence is bad. The police response to this and the way it's become so militarized is just scary to watch and scary to see that going on right here in the United States. So many instances of poor practice where we have these police officers just pointing their weapons at civilians. That's just something you don't do. People are saying, no, you only point a weapon when you're ready to use it. You don't point it at civilians. And people even on Facebook, like people in the military and so forth, that are coming forward and they're saying, look, there's a difference between the police and the military. The military goes into combat against enemies, or at least presumed enemies. The police are supposed to serve and protect. When you don't differentiate between the two, that's when you have a true military state, and the people become the, quote, enemy. And that's scary. That's not the world we want for ourselves. It really isn't. And I guess what frustrates me too, and the reason I titled this summary "Missed Opportunity" in Ferguson, is because you see the mayor going on. Obviously, in Ferguson, there has been a lot of tension for quite some time. I think that everything that's come to the surface here, that much is very true. And for the mayor to downplay it the way he has, oh, it's usually so pleasant here, it's usually so nice, it's usually, what is this? I can't believe we got to get order sometime soon, is a missed opportunity. The police condescending to the members of this community, which I find it condescending, when protest in the daytime, don't come out at night. To kind of marginalize these people, tell them when they can and can't protest, as if they're just sitting around all day, just waiting for the opportunity. Maybe some people are working in the day, and protests during the day, don't come out at night. That's when it gets violent. That's when it gets dangerous. We're going to have a curfew. We're going to have this. So many instances where the reaction from the mayor, the reaction from the police was just more of us versus them. Us, we, the people in charge, the people with the power, versus the citizens that live here that just had one of their own shot down. And no justice has been. I mean, all of the evidence that's come forward. Shot six to seven times, this kid was shot. One time fatally through the head, in the back. So the accounts are matching here, that this was a kid that was running away, had his hands raised, and was just shot dead. And why I call this a missed opportunity is because now is the time for Ferguson to say, okay, and this isn't, Ferguson's an example of, I think, a lot of the stuff that's going on in the United States, where tension is very high, and this event was the straw that broke the camel's back. So now you have an opportunity to say, you know what, something's not working here, something is very tragically broken, and we gotta fix it. And I don't know what exactly that fix is. And, you know, I try not to be too condemning, because I understand the tough situation it is for everyone involved. I really do. And I certainly don't want to sound like I'm condemning all of the police force or anyone involved, because that's really not my intention. And I don't believe that there's still a lot of good apples in law enforcement. And I'm not trying to sound like I think the mayor's done a completely horrific job. But I think there's a missed opportunity here where you can say, okay. And I think pursuing that opportunity starts with the police saying a mistake was made here. Something grossly wrong happened. Deadly force should not have been used in this situation. Instead, they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to just use a straw man. Lucy wants back into the conversation, apparently. And you know, and I'll say this too, just as a quick aside. Did he steal cigars? Did he steal marijuana? Here's something I can't say on the radio, so I'll say it now. I don't give a shit. I don't care. It's not applicable to what really went down here. It has nothing to do with that shooting. And it's bothersome that instead of really investigating this, when there's so much evidence that points to the fact that this cop abused his power to the utmost degree and is guilty, at the very least, of horrific negligence, and instead you're just trying to cover it up. You're just trying to distract people with other oh, he might have smoked marijuana, he might have stolen cigars, this and that. It's very troublesome. And I think it starts with the police saying, look, you know, it's not us against them. We're all in this together. This is our community. So let's fix this. Let's address what happened. Let's not resort to violent protests. I'm not endorsing violent protests either. Two wrongs do not make a right. That's not right either. But instead of, oh, stay inside at night, do this, do that, and we're trying to restore the community here. Well, you know, if it wasn't for these tensions and if it wasn't for this officer killing an unarmed teenager, you know, that's part of the reason a lot of this started. Or, well, the main reason a lot of this started. So I think that it's a missed opportunity to really address what is wrong in the way this community is being run right now. And Ferguson's not alone. There's a lot of opportunities where the relationship between the police and between city officials and so forth and the people is very toxic. So I think there's an opportunity to actually address that and to say, you know, maybe start a community task force, maybe start some kind of new initiative, have a panel. And I know right now it's kind of chaotic, but to at least start going in that direction instead of demonizing people, that might see better results. And am I an expert? No, of course I'm not an expert on stuff like this. I don't think anybody is. I don't think it's something people really prepare for. And is what I just described probably easier said than done? Yeah, probably. But instead, all you've been having is just lip service, making it out like there's not serious problems going on here, or making it out like it's just violent protesters, and that's the only issue that's going on, and there's no wrong here with these police officers going around pointing guns at civilians, and making it out like, you know, this is just, oh, why is there all this outrage? Like, no, there's an unarmed teenager was killed. And it seems like this guy, I mean, what's it going to take for them to at least arrest this guy and question him? Which, I mean, will something happen later today? Maybe. But we're still waiting. And I just think this is a horrific event, but at least there's kind of an opportunity to address what's going on, not just in Ferguson, but in communities all around the United States, and see how we as a people can do better. Because I'll tell you what, you know, you can say what you want about, well, we became a police state a long time ago, and no, I find it hard to believe that a nation like ours, with all the resources and wealth that we have, can't do better than this. I think we can. I think we can do better than a teenager jaywalking getting shot 6 times. We can do better than that. And for the people defending this officer, saying he was doing his job, no. A police officer's job description does not involve shooting an unarmed teenager 6 times, 1 time fatally through the head. That's not in any police officer's job description. I can pretty much guarantee that, even though I've never been a cop myself. I can guarantee that's not in the job description. And so this is, I hope that a better direction is sought by the people in Ferguson with the power to start to change the direction. And I think maybe if something like that is instituted, the violent protests would hopefully stop. Sure, there's going to be some bad apples. That's just part of all this, and I'm not endorsing that. I think violent protest is the absolute 110% wrong way to go. But I don't know. I know it's easier said than done because I myself am not there, but but I don't want to see anyone else get hurt. I don't want to see anyone else get arrested. I don't want to see anyone else get killed. I think that we can do better than this as a society, and I hope that we start to. And but until then, this has been very frustrating to see, and it's been very frustrating to watch this unfold. It's been very frustrating to see the way journalists are treated, and I don't know. Here's hoping we for a better tomorrow, and that we start going a different direction with all this. And I'm not trying to come off as too judgmental because I know I'm not there, and it's easy for me or for any other person in the media or what have you to say stuff like this when they are not there. But I think sometimes you got to just take a step outside and say, look, we can do better than this. We're a better society than this. This is not the United States that I know, and so I hope some things change. I really do. So sorry that wasn't a very uplifting summary today, but you've been watching a summary from the Indie Bohemians Morning Show. I've been Ron Placone, and I'm going to go ahead and sign out.